Good morning.
Good morning.
So tell everyone who you are and where are we at right now?
I'm Julie Sanders, the teacher at Cascade Academy.
All right, how long have you been teaching here?
This is my 4th year.
All right, so I'm Sammy and I'm interviewing you because you've been using my book, Fourbears, The Myths of Forgiveness, in your class, correct?
Yes.
So tell us a little bit, how long have you been doing that and what are some of the results you're seeing?
Well, I started something called the UTOO project, and I use people's real stories, memoirs, autobiographies that have been through really hard times, kind of like my students have. And your book became part of the project last year, and I have to say it's one of the most challenging books that we've used, but sadly and gratefully it's one that the kids really relate to and are learning a lot from.
Can you say a little bit about what you mean by challenging?
The subject matter is very difficult, and it hits close to home for a lot of them with the neglect and child abuse and gang involvement, stuff like that.
All right, and how do your students seem to respond to the book as you go through it now your second time?
They're really emotionally invested in Sammy. They get really heated about the things that you've had to go through, and through that process they can reflect on their own experiences and how similar or dissimilar their reactions to what they've been through is, and they're sharing their insights about, well, I reacted different, I went within myself rather than lashing out,
Sure.
as a result. So they're reflecting on themselves by learning through your story.
Yeah, and I don't want to end the interview without saying this is the second time you've brought me out here. You've definitely used technology in your classroom. You've Skyped with me and kept me send daily links to what you're doing here, and so that we can see the live reactions of the students as they're reading the book. I think you're opening the classroom up on a national and in some ways an international level to students who may not otherwise get an experience like that. And I think one of the things that makes your class and your project successful, as you know, is that you're very compassionate towards the children. You don't get caught up in a physical behavior, and yet you can tell that your students are absorbing everything you're saying. They're listening, and if I'm not mistaken, a lot of these students have kind of not passed mainstream school, correct?
Right.
And so the fact that you have a good turnout and you have children who are interested in these stories and who relate to them says a lot about the level of work that you're doing here. And I think we could set an example through what you're doing in your classroom for other people in the country to say, hey, when you have children who are showing some of these behaviors, it might suffice to discipline them, but we might be better served if we try to understand them. And I think that's really what's communicated in your classroom. So, Julie, I want to say thank you. You're an awesome person. I think you're a saint to these kids, to this community, and not to mention that you've edited how many books now? Two books, and you've made 2 teachers' editions for each of those books, one being My Life After Hate from Arno Michaelis, and then, of course, my book, I can't remember the name of my own book, Fourbears, The Myths of Forgiveness, which is amazing. I think we all want to say thank you to you from Life After Hate, from Fourbears, and on behalf of the kids here at Cascade. Thank you for being you.
Thank you.
Awesome.